Hello and welcome to JN CareerApt. This is Nitya Natarajan. Our today's guest is Dr. Harmeet Kaur Bhalla, a dedicated principal and a prolific author with 17 published books, including children's literature, poetry, short stories, and a novel. Her writing is deeply rooted in the belief that books can enrich vocabulary, inspire imagination, and nurture values. Passionate about reading and nature, she often donates books to libraries and gifts plants, creating spaces that foster both intellectual and emotional growth. We extend a hearty welcome to you, ma'am. Welcome to the podcast series, Future Ready Students Insights from Education Leaders.
Thank you so much, Nitya. Thank you.
So, ma'am, you wear many hats. You are a principal, an author, and a mentor. How do these roles complement each other in your daily life and leadership?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me here, and I would love to share my views regarding all the things which you will put forward. The first question is, in fact, very interesting. How do I complement all the duties like which I'm doing as a school principal, author, and a mentor? See, like being a school principal, first of all, I'm very obediently loving my children, which is, I'm not that kind of a very strict principal, because if you are loving, you would love your children to come and share their thoughts and views. That is the main thing. So, being a school principal, I'm guiding my students. And then, secondly, comes as an author. Like, as an author, the first thing which I've started in my school is reading with principal. This is a very nice thing which I've started with my students. I invite students from each classes one by one, and they sit with me in the office, and then I read my books and I make them read, and then I explain it to them. So that is totally a new concept like which I've started in my school. As a mentor, I'm guiding my students, I'm nurturing them, and I'm telling them about all the values which they have to inculcate. Like, because nowadays what we are going through is absence of moral values. So totally I'm dealing with the holistic development of the students. So these three things, they complement each other and they go side by side, and all three things, they are helping me to frame my students for a better future ahead.
Great, ma'am. Great. That's a great start. Okay, so ma'am, you have already written and published 17 books, including 11 for children. So please share with us, how can storytelling and reading habits help build the essential 21st century skills like empathy, critical thinking, and communication, especially in young learners?
See, of course, a little bit I would like to tell you about my writing journey. How I started, actually, it was, first of all, I wrote a story for the Times of India contest. It started. And then one thing which that taught me was that my story didn't get selected. There were like hundreds of people who had sent their stories. So, but every failure gives you a lesson. That is a pillar to success. I didn't feel bad. I didn't sit back. Then what happened? I picked up my pen and started writing. So when I started writing and all these books one by one, I started with my poetry and then came over to my novel and then short stories. And then, because I'm a school principal, children are very close to me. And then I thought, why not write for children? So then, because I want them to develop this habit of reading, and the communication skills, they automatically develop when you're getting into reading. See, like today, reading is very difficult. Earlier, it was very easy. In our days, like, I feel I used to read one book in a day easily. But today, if you tell students to buy a book, they would prefer to buy chocolates and other things instead of buying a book. So one thing, through my books, I have made them learn that please gift only books. First thing, in my school, I've made it a point, I'm gifting only books to my children who are toppers, like who are doing something extraordinary. So one thing, they know that ma'am is going to gift us a book. And now, when they are getting into reading, I teach them how to develop this habit of reading. Like, start with 5 minutes, not much. Every day before going to sleep, on your bed, you keep your book, whichever you are going to read, and read for 5 minutes, and see All the words which are there, the difficult words, you underline. And if you don't understand, ask me. They are very free. They are very free to come to the principal and ask about the difficult words which they are unable to understand. And then slowly develop it 5 to 10, 10 to 15 minutes. And then you see how your interest develops. Of course, you can, I even tell the parents to give your child something good. If they read one book, okay, give them another book. Like we have to tell all these things. And automatically see they are developing, vocabulary is developing. And they are able to, like, I'm a school principal of a government school where we are very much into teaching Hindi, but when they are reading these English books, story books, they are developing their English skills also. This is going on, and they are able to speak now. And I keep telling them they are able to speak simple sentences, because when you go out into this world, you have to speak English as well. Hindi is our mother tongue, but we need to speak in English also. So these things are automatically developing, and my each book, I leave a message in each book. So
Mm.
you can learn from that. The
Yeah.
values. Yeah, that is the thing.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. So you bring in all the value education through your books and
Yeah.
your
So
poetry.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to.
Yeah. Okay. So, ma'am, in your historical fiction, She Will Move Mountains, you explore resilience through Miranda's journey. So, what inspired this story, and what message do you want the readers to walk away with?
Yeah, see, when I was a student of history also, in my school days, I love to study history. The entire history I've gone through, entire history. But not even a single page I found discussing anything what the Britishers did to our women. Not a single page I have come across. So when I went deep into history, I came across this incident of Shimla, just based on a true story.
Mhm.
How they were using our women. These Shimla was the summer capital. This story is based on Shimla, and the Britishers, they used to stay there. It's way back in 1945 when Britishers were ruling India. It is the time of British colonialism, in fact. And then how our young girls were taken and thrown into many. They are like the souls which will never be remembered. I felt the hidden ones. Some were unwed mothers. Some of the British soldiers, they married our girls, and the the worst thing was that they died of this disease called syphilis, and they were
STD.
used and used. So this thing had to be brought forward. I felt it's an hidden aspect, gone into literally into the grave. No one will bring it out, and they were the unsung heroines who had died. No one was remembering them. Even their parents had sold them to the Britishers. So this entire story covers the struggle of this lady Miranda. She comes from London, and she comes to save her friend who has been thrown into this, because there were not only Indian girls, there were English girls also into this. And then how she comes, she saves her friend, and then she comes across this, what was going on. Actually, Shimla is based, it is in between the seven hills, and there was a summer hill where all this racket was being conducted and going on, and uh, these they were thrown into prostitution, the young girls. So Miranda, her role was, she actually is an epitome of women empowerment, because she saves 20,000 girls with her struggle and revolution. She brought forward this thing which was going on, this prostitution rackets which were being conducted by the Britishers, and she reached the ridge of Shimla. They had an entire revolution. Many lost their lives. Many were thrown behind the bars, but she saved. She was the one who saved 20,000 girls from being thrown into this dirty business, I feel. So, it's a true story of Miranda. Maybe the characters have changed, The names have
Mhm.
been changed, but it
Mhm.
brings the reality out.
All right. All right. So is this completely a true story? Because it says it's a fiction
Yeah, it's a fiction, but I had
based on a
read
true
based on
event.
the true story. Yeah.
All right. All right. What advice would you give to students today who are interested in careers as writers? That could be like authors or content writers or digital storytellers. What would your advice to them be?
Yeah, of course. Writing, I feel, is always a blessing. First of all, writers have to be very true at heart, very
Mhm.
true. And then once you pick up your pen, it never stops. And see, writing, I don't think, first of all, it should always be a passion, never a profession. If you're thinking the other way out, maybe all the things which you want to actually tell remain hidden. See, writers are never millionaires unless and until one book hits. So when I started writing, I never thought that I will be selling my books, and it was nothing like this was there in the mind, because all your emotions, all your experiences, whichever you have, they should come out. First of all, the writer has to have had many experiences in his life itself, because if he had many experiences, and if he is a voracious reader, first of all,
Mm, mm,
then he will start writing, because writing is not an easy journey. You have to devote your time and your energy to it. You can begin your career as a writer, of course, and if you think about it, and as a content creator and digital storyteller. In fact, those who are digital storytellers, their concept is totally different. In fact, what we are writing, we are sending it to them, and they are then adapting it into their stories and digitally. And but it is like that, like I always tell the what Virginia Woolf, the writer, had said. Like, she had said that if you read 1,000 books, you automatically become a writer. So
mhm.
this thing has to be there. I have read more than 1,000 books, and then it was my passion. Writers have a passion, and if you have passion, you will automatically start writing. You will never stop. And I feel if you have that passion, please go forward and write and get your books published. There are all kinds of publishers. And first of all, your manuscript should be very effective.
Mhm.
It should be selected by the publishers. And then, of course, the process is quite not an easy one. Lots of editing part. And you have to spend some money also, because the publishers, they go for, there are free publications also, there are other ones also, but it takes around about more than 4 to 5 months to get a book published. And content creators can also go for it, and digital storytellers can, of course, take stories from quite different aspects. But I feel that if you are making story content for a child, for children, then please let them be good ones. Let them not be giving any. Nowadays, I'm watching all the horror ones, and what all like,
The violent stories, that's
yeah,
what children
please
are getting
don't teach.
attracted to
Please, yeah,
these
don't
days.
teach children violence, and please teach them values through your works. That I want. Every
Right.
book whichever I write, every poem whichever I write is with a message. So
Correct.
that
Correct.
even if a child reads one poem of mine, he's going to get something or the other. That thing. So leave with
Right.
a good message.
Yes, ma'am. Right. Right. So, as an educator, how do you cultivate a love for reading? Because in today's world, children are, they don't even want to read their textbooks. Textbooks are
Yeah.
boring. So, how do you cultivate a love for reading in today's digital first generation?
Yeah, first of all, I have to, in my the parent teacher meeting, whichever we organize in our schools. First of all, we have to tell the parents, please keep your children away from mobiles. First of
Mhm.
all, I do tell them till class 12, there is no need. Unless and until we are sending some homework or there is some problem, we of course send it on WhatsApp, and we tell the parents too. But first of all, keep your children away from mobiles. And then, like during the vacations, I told each child to please make a money box and collect 5 to 10 rupees every day, not much. And if you collect like 250 or 300, go and buy a book. Yeah, that will be the best thing which you do during the summer vacations. And reading, I give lectures on reading. I go to many schools. Then I teach them what is the effect of reading, in fact. See how your imagination, the power of imagination improves. How have we reached till here? Because we were reading a lot. And see, if you're going through, see how you connect, you are disconnected from the entire world. You're, when you start reading a book. And see, it the movie, it's like a movie. It runs into your mind, the characters and how they develop. So start with 5 minutes, I tell them. Don't think it's a like we are deliberately pushing you into reading. 5, then 10. See, one more thing I started in my school was like making them read newspapers in front of me. I used to give them news. I give them newspapers every day. I go to the class and give them newspapers and make them read in front of me. So this way they are developing their reading habits, 5 to 10 and then to 15 minutes. And see, children come up to me, ma'am, we have bought a book. I feel so happy. I feel like whatever work I have done, I'm successful in that. And then it improves your power of imagination. Then, and if you get a task of writing, I tell them, if you get an essay or if you get an article to write in your boards, see how easy it will become because you have learned so many new words. And like when I was in school, I made a small diary. I used to write down all the difficult words and then search them in the dictionary. Earlier we had dictionaries. Now it's so easy. We search on Google. So I show them that diary. Like, see, I have this diary where I have written when I was in class 6, 7 or 8. So why not you? So now the best thing is my children, they have made like a small register or a small notebook and they write down those words. So I tell them like now, whatever you will get in your boards, it will be very easy for you because you are reading. So reading will overall change your perspectives, change your personality. See, when you're reading about different characters, about different people, about the history, about contemporary people. Like, and if you're going through biographies, autobiographies, I keep telling them about books. So each and every book gives you a change.
Right. So you get to understand, like empathize with the characters, understand there are different perspectives to the same situation, like how each character is, perceiving the information, so you develop empathy and you know how interpersonal relationships will work.
Yeah, they will. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So it gives you a lot of knowledge. It helps you to develop skills and emotional intelligence also.
Yeah.
When you watch a video on Instagram or you watch a reels or something, you get to see only what they are trying to tell you, what they are trying to show you. But when you read a book, like your imagination is going to be entirely different from the way I am going to imagine that particular character.
Yeah.
So
and one more thing I tell my students is make a small library in your room. Each child should have a small library and collect books.
Okay. So what advice would you give to parents and teachers who want to encourage their children to read, write, and express themselves more creatively?
Yeah, of course, parents, of course, I keep telling them whenever they are there for the meetings, please keep your children away from mobile. And if your child is into reading, please, the same thing I tell them, gift books to your children on birthdays, on special occasions, and please gift books. And please try your child to make a small library in the home, in his room itself. Secondly, I tell teachers that please, in the library period, make them read. And of course, in the classrooms also, whatever text, even if you are teaching, teach it thoroughly so that even if a story is going on, they develop interest in that. And make them realize the effect and power of reading in that 40 minutes period when the teacher is teaching. That student should be fully involved in the subject, if it's Hindi or in English or anything like that, and tell them the good effects of reading.
Right. Right.
Even the even the teachers, they should also, I feel they should teach tell the students that if they have read a book recently, what did
Hmm.
they read in it? Yeah,
Right.
you should
Share
set
it
an
with the
example.
students.
See, I
Hmm.
myself as a principal, I'm setting a lot of example, but
Correct.
I cannot. There are like more than 1,000 students in my school.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
try to reach each and every child, but more than me, I feel a teacher can
Yeah.
reach. They should
Yes.
tell them, and they should set an example. See, they should of course tell that if the principal is writing books, so what is your uh, reaction to it? They should ask
Hmm.
the students, and that if she is writing, why not you?
Hmm.
All of you have this ability. God has, I keep telling my students, God has given this thing to all, brains, but the thing is we have to use it. The thing lies there. We all have super powerful brains, but I think not more than 50% are using. Nowadays students are into other things and
We
studying.
are like consuming a lot of unnecessary content.
Yeah, unnecessary.
Content consumption is more than creation.
Yeah, that is the main
So
thing. So I
more
keep.
than spending our time in creating something like writing something or creating something, we spend a lot of time in just consuming things like
And you won't
watching.
believe, yeah, you won't believe my students, when I am conducting this reading with principal, they write down stories and they bring up to me.
Mm.
Yeah, and one of the student was so sweet. She came up to me, ma'am, I've started writing about you.
Okay. That's nice.
In 1 or 2 years, I'll write a book on you. That's
Okay.
nice.
That's she's got the inspiration from you,
Yeah, maybe.
so much inspiration from you that she wants to write a book on you about you. Okay, that's really great. Yeah, so that when we encourage children to start reading, to start writing, to express themselves, so that little motivation is enough for a child. Like if you
Yeah.
constantly talking to the child about reading or what books I'm reading or why don't you try reading this book, things like that, definitely I'm sure they're going to come up with something. At least start reading a little bit. Finally, ma'am, in your experience as a principal and an author, what key traits do you believe students must develop today in order to thrive in the future? Because the world is changing very fast and there's so much uncertainty, things are changing rapidly. So what key traits do you want students to develop today?
Of course, like earlier when we were students, there were no computers. We didn't even know about them. And then now at this stage, it is a change perspective altogether. They are very close to the digital world, in fact. And then I keep telling my students, and I want the key traits should be, first of all, should be compatibility. They should be compatible enough, and then resilience should be there, and that is the main thing. And then of course I want my students to learn the art of teamwork. Having grudges and developing egos is not a good thing for the students, not a good for their character, I feel. Then they should live up with their moral values whichever they have learned in school. Nowadays we are seeing that students, after as they turn elder, after class 10 or 11, their character changes totally. I feel that by the time they reach class 12, I have seen in my school, they are totally changed how they were in class 6 and 7. And by the time they have reached class 12, they have learned a lot about this world. They know a lot more. But apart from that, what all good things you should know? That is the
Mm,
main thing.
mm,
After class 12, you are going to this world. The world is open for you. So I tell them, like, in this world of artificial intelligence, where everything you are getting in your mobiles, but you have this human brain also. No one can beat that.
Right.
Your decision, your solutions will be above all.
Mm.
You cannot imitate and copy and write. As an author, I feel my emotions are totally different. What I am writing, I'm not taking from anybody. Live what you feel, do what you feel is the best,
Mm.
and go for your career options according to your choice. Parents should not force their children. Don't listen. If your parents are forcing, I'd keep telling them, you bring them to me. Yeah. Don't listen when there's a this career comes in between. And then you're going out in this world. First of all, be honest. Be honest. And then don't think about earning money through unfair means. That is
Right.
not a good thing. Many are earning. In fact, throughout the world, in our country especially, I'm seeing, and in every field, they are earning money. But please, if you're honest, prove your honesty. Being a school principal, even I have many options of earning money, but no, I say no. Learn to say no. That is the main thing I tell them. Even if somebody is coming in front of you and putting a nice plate in front of you and telling you all about all the wrong things, don't get influenced, and don't see every person has a false face. Don't believe in everyone. Today, you can't say what is lying behind in his mind. That is the main thing. And children, they believe. They are very
Yeah.
true, very honest.
Because when they see things online, they believe
Yeah,
whatever they see is true.
yeah, it's true, but it's not true.
Yeah.
You have to see the second option also. What is going
Yeah.
on
So
behind?
that's why we teach children to have to develop critical thinking
Yeah,
and
critical thinking.
independent thinking.
Yeah, so because when I go to my students, I love to teach also. I teach class 11 and 12 English because that's my favorite subject. So when I go to the class, apart from teaching, I tell them about all the moral values also, because now they have to go out in this world. So what all is going on in this world? So the key traits, first of all, honesty should be there. Don't get
Mm.
influenced by people. Learn to say no to people and choose your career according to your choice. And learn
Choice.
all the new concepts which are going on in this world. Don't stay behind. And learn to face people,
Right.
learn communicative skills. Yeah, learn to face people and learn all the good things. So these are the main things I keep telling students.
Yeah, yeah, that's true, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences and the initiatives that you do in your school to make children read. Okay, I'm sure the people who are watching this, the school leaders, teachers, and parents, they will take this as the main key takeaway from this session. That to help children, motivate children to read, express themselves in writing, because that's going to foster reading and writing is going to foster a lot of skills that they will need to survive, to thrive in this world. Okay, so thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today. Hope to see you
Yeah,
soon
it
again.
was
Thank,
wonderful talking to you, Nitya, and my blessings to you and for your work.
thank you.
Which, and so thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.